Cool. Oh, that's frustrating. My bad. I have a dilemma. I'm going to this dilemma is going to take me explaining this is going to be a rant. It's going to be a bit of a long rant, but with everything going on in society right now, maybe it's an interesting thought project. Here's the dilemma. When leaving, I was at the store earlier today, and when leaving, I saw a man in the store, and he was watching me as I was shopping, and as I was leaving, he was waiting. I mean, he was still in the store, but waiting for me, and I made eye contact with him, and just because the range of emotions going across his face were amazing, to say the least. They were he had a lot of emotions. His emotions were cycling between like sadness, anguish, pain, anger, hatred, rage, powerlessness, like all cycling through. And when I left the store, he followed me. His guard followed me. I ended up losing him. I think I lost him. I am not sure if I lost him or not, but I believe I did. Before coming back here, but I've never had anything like this happen before. I've been followed from lots of places, and I've had people try to kill me lots of times, and these things happen. It's part of life. But this is different. This is much different because I mean I could see the emotions playing out in his eyes. I mean, I could literally when I walked past him, I can't do from a foot away. I'm having to assume a lot here, putting the scenario together, like putting the circumstances that created the scenario together. But I'm willing to bet I'm right on this. The thing is that I don't think I'm a tranny. Okay, straight up, I'm a tranny. Everybody knows that. I'm not transitioning to become a woman. I'm not a woman trapped in a man's body. I'm none of those things. I'm just a tranny. This is who I am. This is the metamorphosis complete. This is not a stage and moving on towards anything else. And I'm noticeably a tranny. Like my voice is a tranny. I'm like 6 feet tall. I wear heels. I'm like 6'3" in heels or 6'5". I'm noticeably a tranny in public. There's no question of what I am. And how many of you in life run into trannies like in your daily? Almost nobody does. Nobody does. It's there's some that are hiding, fooling people. I'm not one of those. I'm not going towards that goal of being a woman. I'm not a woman. I'm a tranny, like I said. So it's very rare that you're going to run into a tranny in your life. But nowadays, being affected by trannies, by society, and the full sum of knowledge of what trannies are, people don't. The average person is not going to run into a tranny once in their lifetime. They're not going to run into somebody like me anywhere, ever, and they're not going to be able to stand face to face looking at me. But a lot of people are being affected by trannies. Like I said, not my kind, but like just trannies in general. What the mental image is of trannies in our society right now, which is these fucking pathetic psychopaths, narcissistic psychopaths who are literally chanting that they're out for people's children. They're waging war against families. They're waging war against children. They're literally chanting, "We're coming for your children," because they are coming for your children. And even if the scenario that I'm explaining with this guy, what I believe to be the case, even if that's not the case, it's inevitable that I will run into somebody who is a victim of this campaign. And what am I supposed to do about that? Because I am an enemy of those trannies. I'm literally an enemy of them. I am against everything that they're saying. I'm against everything that they're pushing. I'm sorry, but cutting off the genitals of children is fucking child abuse for whatever reason. It's child abuse. It's horrific child abuse. It's happening in medical establishments, and it makes it so much worse. It's being pushed by a society that is just I don't know what the fuck is wrong with society. Normally we don't. Our society doesn't bow to the whim of a small percentage of people. They're not even a small percentage of the population. They're a small percentage of trannies in general. I don't actually know any trannies that are doing this, but you see them on television all the time, and I do know they're out there. I do know people who know them. I see the effect, and it's of their campaign, and I would fight them in an instant to stop them. Do anything I could to stop them, because not only is their actions bringing down heat on everybody else, and also causing a scenario like what I'm thinking happened today, and might be continuing to happen. But not only that, but they're just bad people in general. They're fucking evil. They're narcissists who think the whole world has to bend to their will. They think they're special, but they're not even adequate. I mean, like literally, They think they're special and they want the whole world to adapt to what they want, but they're not even adequate. They're not even willing to fight their own battles. So they're literally not. The reason why they're after your children is because they want power in numbers. They figure if they can make enough people into what they are, they'll be a scary block of people because they can't even stand up for themselves. They're not even adequate as humans. They're not. They're pathetic. But this is why they're doing it. It's because they're trying to become a swell. They're trying to become the majority. It'll never happen, but it's what they want, and they're willing to sacrifice everybody's children to do it. On top of that, there's the parents that are getting their kids these, so they're signing off on these kids fucking operations and puberty blockers and all these just horrifically bad things to do to a kid. Those parents are suffering from Munchausen by proxy, which is not really a mental illness. I mean, they say it's a mental illness. No, it's just a condition or state of being evil and willing to sacrifice your own children for your own social bump. It's just a case of them being evil. It's literally, there are evil people in this world, and this is one of the behaviors of them. I have a great deal of expertise in being around those people because my mom was one. It's not a mental illness. They're not crazy. They're just evil. We need to quit thinking of them as crazy because there's nothing you want to do for someone like that. They don't give a fuck about it. They don't love their kids and they're willing to sacrifice their kids for their own social standing. That's just evil. That's not crazy. There's lots of species that eat their young. We shouldn't be one of them. My mom was clearly suffering from Munchausen by proxy. You know, I was suffering from Munchausen by proxy. She was enjoying it. I guess would be the proper terminology here. It's just straight up evil. Like, and the kids going along with it. Okay, this is going to be weird to try and this rant's going all over the place, but it's just a lot of things have to be said and a lot of things have to be explained in like first person. When I was 8 years old, I fell down like the pipe into a storm sewer, a storm drain. And it was because we were going down there to get high and smoke cigarettes, and I was my habit was when I get down there all the time, I just drop down the hole and catch, like rather than like climb down, get the ladder and go down. So I just use a little spin maneuver and then catch on the way down. I do shit like that all the time. I take massive risks for fun. Always have. But that day I failed and missed the ladder, fell. I don't know how many, it was like 30 feet down, broke my leg. I told my friends not to go get my mom. I said, go get your mom, go get your brother, go get anybody else but my mom. And I was like sleeping in the shock, but still very clear that she wasn't getting help. I knew that instinctively, but I didn't. But okay, so that's that went on. They went and got my mom, of course. My mom had me wrap my arms around her neck, and she climbed out the hole. But she didn't climb all the way out the hole. She got to the top where I could like easily even reached up, grab somebody, done anything to get out of the hole. She said, "I'm choking, let go." And I did. Why would I do that? I was 8 years old, and mother truly is the word for God in the lips and hearts of all children. So I was getting command from my God. Yeah, I know she's evil now. At the time, she was just mom. This is just the way things went. I let go, fell back down, smash. Fucking shattered my life, fucked me up really good. But but I went along with it because she said, let go. So anybody whose child's going on puberty blockers, I'm sure it's not the kid's idea. They're being pushed into it by something, and it's more than likely the parent is going, oh, I had to raise a trans kid. They're doing it for their own, like, glory, virtue signaling, glory, whatever. It's just them being evil. It's behavior of an evil person. But I did what she said because at the time that's the situation I was in. And that's what you did. Because like I said, mother is horribly misused, but mother is the word for God in the lips and hearts of all children. It's that's what children do. So these kids are going on puberty blockers. They might be in all ways and shapes and forms saying they're going along with it. It's their idea, whatever. They're just being manipulated by an evil person. Right? My mom clearly was not choking because she was able to say, I'm choking, let go. But I still believed her. Still totally fucked myself up because she was an evil person doing evil behavior. So now we go forward to today, and this is happening in our society. This is happening a great deal in our society. States are trying to make it so that judges have to consider whether a parent is willing to support their child's gender identity in order to give custody. That's a fucked. It's like, are you willing to shoot your kid in the face? You get custody. If you're not willing to shoot your kid in the face, you don't get custody. It's a fucked up judicial position to be in. Because like I said, it's fucking child abuse. It's genital mutilation. It is chemically and physically altering the child to be your pet project. I mean, weren't there enough purse dogs around for these bitches? I'm sorry, but it's gender specific, but Munchausen by proxy is a bitch disorder. Sorry, it just is. I mean, the number of men that are probably that have had it in their lifetime is low. Women, it's a bitch disorder. So yeah, couldn't they just get a pet dog and just make it suffer and wrapped up in her purse all the time and use that as their pet project? No, they have kids, and that's what they're going to use it for. So they use the kids for, because the kids don't have any value to them otherwise, other than their own needs. That's Munchausen by proxy. It's just evil. It's not mental illness per se. It's recognized that way, but that's because we don't recognize that some people are evil, some people are good, some people are horrible. But we should recognize that it's a reality of life. But okay, so as I'm leaving here, I'm looking at the guy's eyes, and he's looking at me as a physical embodiment of that scenario. Like literally, the only thing I can figure out is for the range of emotions he was experiencing, and he was not experiencing the emotions of a bad person. He was experiencing the emotions of a good parent. I mean, the hatred, the loathing, all that stuff, I can see reasons for it. I can see why he might feel that way. And I can't come up with any other reason why that, because he's not crazy. The dude he was clearly not crazy. The emotions he was going through are emotions that we have. And for the most part, they're evolved with us because they're good emotions to have. I mean, we have emotions for a reason. They give us superpowers at times. That's why we have them. But now I'm stuck with the dilemma of, he followed me. Now, I lost him. I'm good at losing people. I mean, I'm willing to run the red light so they can't follow me, things like that. And normally in this situation, I'd have looped back around and been following him because I don't like having somebody out there that wants to hurt me and just leaving it up to them and their itinerary. I take it up on my own. This one I looped around a bunch and I finally came back home and I'm realizing now that I might not have lost him. What do I do in the situation? I'm going to go out here in a minute and I'm going to go take my trash out because I'm going to take it to the street. And this is a good opportunity to see whether or not I actually lost him. He's out there waiting to kill me because I'm the physical embodiment of the struggle he's been fighting against and against the evil that he's been facing. What do I do? Because I can't really defend myself without defending that position. So that's how this happens. I mean, just the doubt in my head alone will be enough to get me killed. Because in situations like that, you basically act instantly. You don't quaver in doubt, and that vacillation at the crossroads of doubt will get you killed every time. So what happens in this scenario if I walk out to pick up the trash and he kills me? And this has been really bugging me all night because what is the recourse to that situation? Well, at this point, I would suggest that if this is a scenario that happens, and this scenario will inevitably happen at some point, because this is the direction society is going in, and this is something that will happen to me. I will run into more people that are fighting this battle, and they will see me for what they see me as, and I can't. They have no way of knowing that I'm not their enemy. They have no way of knowing my intent, my heart. They can't. There's no way. So forgive them. They know not what they do. But I can't. If this is the situation, this person's in court, then let me please talk to the judge and the jury. You cannot convict this man of what he's done. It's not murder. A war has been waged against him, and he's fighting back. He has no way of knowing that I'm not on their side. He's attacking, as he should, the evil that's invaded, that took it up with him. So if you're on the jury, acquit the man. Don't do any jury nullification or any some weird ideological bullshit. Just say not guilty. Say you were not shown enough evidence to convict this man because he definitely didn't commit murder. And for the judge, and they do happen to convict him, give him the lightest sentence possible. Because for no other reason, because someone has to be there to save that kid and try to salvage that kid when that narcissistic fuck parent, that narcissistic evil person gets tired of breaking their toy and they move on to something else. Someone has to be there for that kid. So if that kid's in prison for this, he won't be there, and that kid will inevitably fall. So by convicting him, giving him a sentence, you are just enabling this. You're enabling the destruction of that child. Now, I could be totally wrong, but I really doubt it because and what am I willing to bet on this? Well, my life, of course, because that's what I'm willing to bet that I'm right on this one. But it's been really bothering me because the fact that this is a scenario, this is a societal issue that we should have solved a long time ago, and I'm partly blamed for this because as this group of fucking narcissistic evil people who look like me, have risen. I've stopped hanging out with. I don't go to Pride. I don't go to marches. I don't do any of those things anymore because those people are there, and I should have been facing this head on from day one. Should have been like, no. I'm thinking it's like I got to raise my kids. I have other problems. I can't deal with these people. No, I should have been fucking standing against them on day one. So, I mean, literally, should have been. It was my fight to pick, and I've avoided it. So, if I get killed tonight, that is the inevitable wages of cowardice. I should have been stopping this before it hurt anybody. Before they had the opportunity to march down the street yelling, "We're coming for your children," I should have put a stop to it personally. And everyone like me in the situation I'm in should have and should be at this point doing something to stop them, because this is not. It's not harmless. It's not ideological. It's just evil. It's just evil. Like I said, they're not special. Said the jury and the judge, do not convict him and do not give him a sentence. This man, if he does kill me, or if somebody does kill me in the same scenario, I'm willing to die for that. it's a worthy death. It's a good death. That's what has to happen. Then yeah, I don't think I could fight back against a guy in this situation. Straight up, it's I can't hurt him for being a good parent. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to die, but if I have to, this is a good one. So so yeah, so if that does happen, please, all my friends, share this with these defense attorneys. If you hear the news that this happened, this is how he died, please share this video with them. Please just or the defense or with the jury or with someone, just share it because it's very important. And to me, just share this video with everybody anyways, because this is a discussion we need to be having. This cannot just keep going. This drag queen fucking kindergarten, this elementary school, this people doing things in places they should not be doing them. Straight up, people doing things in it. And you don't need to. When I first heard about drag queens reading stories to kids, I went, "Oh, that's great. The kids won't be the kids will just drag queens are just people. They're just people. Kids will grow up. They won't have the fear and unfamiliarity with it. But then I realized what they're reading to them and how they're doing it and what's actually happening at these events. And I went, no, this is just pure fucking evil. They're not. They're indoctrinating. They're breaking. Kids do not need to be exposed to sexuality until they hit puberty. That's just straight up. It causes massive psychological problems. It does. I know this from experience too. But they should not be exposed to adult sexuality as kids because they're kids. There's childhood is a thing. And if your ideology says that childhood should not be respected, your ideology is fucking wrong. Straight up. And you're impacting people you should not be impacting, and you are fucking up this world, and you are the problem. And you should realize that, come to terms with your impact in the world and your position in the world, and go kiss a train, eat a bullet. I don't give a fuck. End yourself, because you have no business being here. You've overplayed your hand. You're evil. Blatantly evil. Yeah, like I said, I'm willing to die to allow someone willing to fight against you to fight against you. And if I'm in your presence, I'm going to fight against you. Because yeah, I should have been. I mean, it's been 6 hours now that I've been going through this in my head constantly without any really other thoughts in my head. I'm just trying to figure out what the right thing to do, what the honorable thing to do is, and it's fairly simple. I walk out there, I take out the trash. If he's still there, I apologize, and he blows my head off. And I'm apologizing for not stopping this before today. And if I'm still here tomorrow, I'm going to stop this as soon as possible. Because it's gone too far. We've accepted evil. We as a society, we've almost embraced it. I mean, when states are trying to make it a factor in a divorce, whether or not which parent gets the kid because they're willing to, what the hell's the word for it? Willing to respect their gender identity. They don't have a gender identity. Like when my kids were in 5th grade, like the last assembly of the year happened, and that day my kids came home from school, and Connor came up to me and told me he was bi. And I went, okay, you probably will be, because most people are, whether they accept it or not. But why are you telling me this? And no, you're not bi. You just started puberty. You're nowhere near the end of it. You got tons of confusion and weirdness to get through. But why are you telling me this? And it turns out that day they had an assembly, and they took all the kids that came out that day, and they gave them candy bars, and they applauded them, and they treated them special. And I went, oh fuck! And that was the last bit of time my kids spent in APS. I yanked them out and put them in charter school immediately, because that's indoctrination. That's not. That's purely. I mean, you get a candy bar for saying you're bi. Woohoo! I mean, I don't even think bi is a thing. It just means you're not that picky. I'm not that picky. Lots of people. Pretty much anyone. It's not a thing. It's not a characteristic of mine. It's just not being picky. I mean, but no, they took all these kids that came forward, they came out, and they gave them candy bars, and they treated them special, and they gave them, like, this was their day, like an extra birthday. One of my kids, Morgan, did not fall for it. Connor did. And I explained to him, I was like, look, you will be whatever you'll be. And I'll love you no matter what you are. Unless you're like a serial rapist or pedophile, something like that. In which case, I fall in the opposite, but in this world, I will take him out of it. But other than that, other than having an evil impact on the world, I will love him no matter what he does. As long as he lives his life, just be happy. But and since then I think he's forgotten about the entire experience. Hopefully he's forgotten about it. But I was very clear that day. I was like, look, you'll be whatever you're going to be, and that you don't know yet. And when people start bribing you to be something, don't be that. Don't come forward because, yeah, you get a candy bar out of it. Your brother didn't get a candy bar. But how would you like to be locked into that emotion? Like I said, when my mom told me to let go, I let go. Because that's what a kid will do. But listen to the parent they love and trust, and now I realize now my mom is evil fucking bitch. But I didn't know at the time. I mean, I knew there's something wrong with her. I knew that my life was, regularly I was in the hospital a lot, let's just put it that way. But I didn't realize why. I just, I seemed to fall down a lot and trip into campfires and jump into Lake Michigan in January and dumb shit like that all the time. It's just, regular kid shit. I just don't usually die. But that's what she enjoyed. That's why she was always talking about, she's so busy because she has to take Andy to do this or that or this or that. And she never made my doctor's appointments. I just made the, impacts to cause them. But I didn't realize at the time. So I went along with it. So from anyone else's outside perspective, I was a willing participant in my own life. I wasn't. I was a kid. But no, this entire scenario, this entire point we've achieved in life, where there's people that look like me that are chanting, "We're coming for your children," and they fucking are coming for your children. You need to take that very, very seriously. You do. And there's no said, if I gotta be collateral damage to this, I'm gonna die because I'm not his enemy, but he has no way of knowing that. So forgive him. He knows not what he does. We need to put a stop to this though, because like I said, they're coming for your children. You need to act appropriately because of that. They don't need to be applauded. They don't need to be they don't need to be ignored, especially. They don't need to be applauded. They don't need to be allowed to gain one more fucking inch in this war. Not one more inch. They need to be stopped. They need to be scared of the ramifications and the consequences of their fucking actions. Because like I said, they're not special. They're not even adequate. They're pathetic. They can't stand up for themselves. They can't stand up alone. They can't even make themselves happy for a minute. And you fucks, you fucking worthless fucks that look like me. You can just decide to be happy. You don't need anything else. You don't need to have all these people around you that are like you so you can feel safe, because you're never going to be safe. Not as long as I'm alive. Not as long as you are like you are. It will never be safe. But no human's ever been safe. Ever. But you can be happy. You just have to choose to be. You might have a list of things you need to accomplish before that happiness. And you might believe you need to accomplish all those things before you can allow yourself to feel happy. But on that day, you'll just decide to be happy. So why not just do that now and skip all that bullshit? You want to be you, but don't impact anyone else. I've said many times, I've never supported legislation saying that I could go use a women's bathroom. I don't support any of those things. I, with the agency of my being a human being, have become what I've become by my own choice and will. That is not a reason for anyone else to be impacted by my existence. Just the fact that a woman might feel insecure if she sees me walking to the bathroom behind her, I will not go in that bathroom. I'll use the other one where I am more insecure. I've been attacked in bathrooms by men. It happens, but it's my choice. I chose to put myself in that situation. I will deal with the consequences and ramifications of my actions. Always. And I will not expect anyone else to suffer anything for my existence. That's the honorable thing to do. That's the right thing to do. Yeah. I would not use a women's bathroom to be. If one woman would feel uncomfortable with me being in there, I'm not going to be in there. That's why I choose. I mean, I joke, I say, I'm just using the woman that I got the plumbing for, because I got most customizations, but I don't have all the customizations. But for the reality of the situation is, I, through my own agency, have become who I am. I'm Chinese. That's who I am. I do not require anyone else to make a sacrifice for me being me. And if your existence requires the sacrifice of others, your existence is not worth continuing. Straight up, it's just not. So yeah, I'm gonna take out my trash and think about what I said, because this is very, very important, and don't give them one more fucking inch. Not one more inch. Thanks. Good night or goodbye, whatever.